desde Las Vegas, Nevada. Iniciamos con el programa Hablando de bienes y raíces con Castillo y sus invitados. Comenzamos.
Muy buenos días, Las Vegas. ¿Cómo están? Yo soy Castillo. Estamos comenzando su programa de Hablando de bienes raíces con Castillo, sus invitados. Estamos aquí en el estudio de Equity Title. Hoy día tenemos dos personas que van a hablar con ustedes de bienes raíces. The really cool guest. I actually just, hook up with them, met them, and I really love what they have to bring. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to introduce our guest for the day today. We're going to go ahead and start with Keven. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, JC. I'm doing good. How are you?
And also we have Lino. Lino, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good.
Good. So Keven, can you please go ahead and start with giving me your first name, last name, what company you work for, how long you've been in the industry, and what do you do as a professional in the industry, please?
Yep. So Keven Raices with Real Broker. Started in the industry. This is my fourth year. Next year will be my fifth year. Mm-hmm. And I help buyers and sellers. Yeah.
Perfect. And also Lino, please give me also your first name, last name, what company you work for, and how long you've been in the industry.
Awesome. So my name's Lino. I work for Real Broker as well. Funny thing, me and Keven started around the same time in the same office.
Nice.
I've been doing real estate for around 3 years, almost 4. And I help first-time home buyers kind of get a gist for kind of the whole process. And I also help sellers get the most bang for their buck.
Very cool. And I love talking to agents like yourself because you guys are so new in the industry. Literally, you guys don't know anything prior to when you started your career. And you guys started your career during COVID.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Tell me how hard was it for you to jump into the business, or how easy was it? Because I know that a lot of agents are like, oh, it was easy. Like, everybody was buying, right? But you as a brand new agent, how did you feel that, making that move, that transition during the period of time? And, I could hear from both of you, how did that shape you to be the agent that you are now? Because from what happened 3 years ago to what you are now, you're not the same agent.
No.
Right? Mm-hmm. So Keven, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think I love the point where I joined the industry just because 2021, we had pandemic level interest rates. They were in the 3s, 4%. People were buying. There was a home buying frenzy. Mm-hmm. They were dropping contingencies. So it was a whole different market. And a lot of agents would say they didn't have to do too much work to get business.
Correct.
People were just lining up to buy houses. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then 2022, I won't forget, April 2022, we went to 6.5 rates. Just like that, the market just flipped. And that's great that I joined during those periods because it taught me to pivot. Because as an agent, you have to adjust your business you just have to keep adjusting your business. So I'm glad that I joined during that period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you are happy that you were able to transition that period of when it was, heyday, right? Mm-hmm. People were buying, everybody was jumping into the market, everybody was moving out of their states because they could remotely work out of the houses. The interest rate was 3.5%.
Yeah.
It was a frenzy, like you say.
Yeah.
And then you said, you said April 2022.
Yeah.
That marked your career because you're like, holy crap, because I need to pivot.
Yeah, because I remember having listings, like my first listing, it just sold right away. And I was like, oh, that was too easy.
Yes.
Just listed it. I didn't have to market it or anything. And then that listing before April 2022, there was no kitchen. Like the house was just demoed.
Right.
One day on the offer, cash offer, just like people were just buying houses. So
yeah. And
I remember the next month, April, then when you had a listing, it's like, okay, now you have to learn to market the property. You have to do the grunt work. It's not just like all of us agents who started at that time. We just put the market, it's been 21 days, it's too long. It's like, no, that's normal. 21, 30 days, that's normal days on market.
Right. And then we'll talk about what the market is actually doing now and see how you feel. Yeah. Lino, how do you feel about that? Did you experience the same thing as Keven? Well, you were in the mission, you jumped in, oh man, this is easy peasy. And then all of a sudden, the brakes just kicked in. You're like, holy crap, I got to figure this whole thing out.
So funny enough, I actually started in March. So right between that little shift.
Oh, wow.
You guys had the interest rates go up.
Yes.
So I started in March, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that it was a hard market, that it had been easier before. I wasn't aware of anything.
Yeah.
I had no knowledge of real estate, of the interest rates before, anything. I was just
You were new.
to the game, exactly. So I jumped in, and then people were like, "Oh, this market sucks. It's not what we were used to," and obviously I had nothing to compare it to. So
Yes.
I was just kind of trying to go through the whole situation and kind of
Yes.
figure out what was normal, what wasn't normal.
Right.
But that became the new normal for me, right?
Yes.
So now that I look back at it, obviously right now it's still not great, right? But when I look back at it, putting in all the work, it kind of made it easier now and going forward because I've kind of been through the tougher market.
Yes.
In comparison as to what everyone says.
Listen, man, I love what you just said because you're like, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I didn't know what the interest rate was. Even the month before you even jumped in, right? You were like, I didn't follow the real estate market. But what I believe that you just said, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lino, is that your work ethic was just like, I got to grind, right? I'm a new agent. I got to grind. I got to figure it out. And Keven, on your side, you were like, hey, it was easy because I had a listing that, it wasn't even done yet and it was flying off the sky. And all of a sudden now you're feeling with this thing like, oh, what do I do? So we could probably say that both of you started where the market shifted and then you both had to pivot and figure out what to do. One of them had an experience of, oh, this was kind of easy. You never had, Lino, experience of what to compare it to. But at the end of the day, 3-5 years down the road, you guys are sitting here as successful agents because you guys are closing deals. How did you figure out, how did you need to pivot to out-market the market? I don't know if that means, right? Yeah. If you don't understand what I mean, how do you out-market the market? Because the market does what it does, but you guys got to be on your toes. So Keven, you want to go on that?
Yeah, well, out-market the market, right?
Yes.
You just have to be a master marketer because I think there was a study that was conducted where they were doing mailers to a neighborhood and they asked the neighbors, who's the most successful real estate agent? And it was the one sending the most mailers. And it wasn't even a real estate agent. It was just someone who paid. Yeah. And that's who the homeowners were seeing, just whoever stays on top of mind.
Yes.
So social media is a big thing in today's world.
Yes.
So that's really what, since day one, where I just put all my efforts into just growing my social media presence just everywhere, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, just everything, just trying to be on top of mind. So people who are looking to buy or sell, they see me.
Right. Lino, in your side, how did you figure out how to grind? Who told you, hey, you know what? You don't know nothing behind from what has been in the past, but you have to do A, B, C, D to be successful. And again, you're sitting here because you are a successful agent 3 years down into your real estate career. How did you figure out and what was your challenges at that moment and saying, man, you know what? I just got to do it, right?
Well, I think I'm still continuing to grow.
Of course.
As the years kind of go by, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, I had joined the certain team because they gave me the tools that I was needing. Because again, I didn't know anything.
Right.
And it was all new to me. So I got the mentorship. I was doing cold calling at the time.
Okay.
For the whole first year that I joined, right? So I kept seeing that it was kind of hard to convert on cold calls because of, now that I look back at it, obviously, but during the time, I just thought it was that hard to get someone to buy or sell a house.
Correct.
But now that I look back at it, obviously because of the interest rates and the whole market, that was the main reason for me having such difficulty, just because everyone was kind of on the fence because of everything happening.
Right.
So it kind of just made me want to bet on myself and figure out something new, because I was like, okay, it can't just be cold calls. That was all that I knew at the time.
Right.
So I was like, it can't just be calling people, trying to convert over the phone, right? And then, funny enough, how I mentioned me and Keven are in the same office. He had came in for a meeting that we had, like a broker meeting, and that's when I saw him doing his videos, and I was like, whoa, this guy is killing it on social media.
Right.
How are you doing that? So then I started talking with him a little bit more, trying to pick his brain, and then that's when I started YouTube, started Instagram, starting to post a little bit more.
Right.
But obviously I didn't kind of make that extra step to where he's at currently. But it opened my eyes as to the other avenues to build business.
Yeah.
But I think the number one thing would be to kind of just bet on yourself and what you're feeling at the time. Because I did think like, okay, this can't be all that real estate has to offer.
Right.
It has to be something else. Let me try and figure it out by expanding my avenues and meeting new people.
Agree. And you know what? I'll tell you something. I've been in the industry for a lot of years, man. And I love talking to new agents because your perspective is so different. I am sure, and again, we're going to remain nameless on what the team you joined in and everything. But I'm pretty sure it was a established team. It's been around for a long time because cold calling is something that's been done for years.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they were, to me, from my experience, they were great.
Right.
I think that first year, doing the cold calls, I call it the dirty work because
Yes,
that's what that is.
yeah.
Not every agent likes to cold call and do the dirty work.
Right.
It sucks, right? No one wants to do it, but it gets deals done, right?
Yes.
If you do it properly.
Yeah.
And I did convert. I did get deals. But I think doing the dirty work and starting off there kind of shaped me into the person I am now, to where I'm not afraid to do like the dirty work or dig in deeper if I have to try and find out new business.
Right. And that's what I was going for, right? You started with a team that's used to doing the basic stuff, the dirty work, like you say, right?
Fundamentals.
The
Exactly,
fundamentals, right? Like, any sports, right? They're if you want to get good at any sports, you got to have the fundamentals down, and fundamentals are horrible. You got to sit there and, like we were talking with Keven outside of the air, and, he played basketball. You got to sit there and through 100 free throws a day to make 2.
The layup line.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to do that dirty work. And I think by you guys starting in that period and saying, man, you know what? There has to be something different. And then you figure out like, hey, man, Keven is doing it in a different manner. What you're doing, Keven, in social media is exactly the same thing as cold calling, as door knocking, but you're using a different avenue.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? Because your message is what's going to get the results.
Yeah.
You and I were talking when we met at the beginning of the week, and we were having lunch, and you were telling me like, you know what? Everybody thinks social media is really that hard. And it really is not, but also it's you have to be knowing of what your market needs. Can you tell me about how you figured that out and saying, look, being on video is easy, but really what the message out there that's going to get you the results is what really matters. Can you talk to me about that, please?
Yeah. So a lot of agents or just any content creators, when they start posting, they just think of, this is what I like. This is the content I like. You got to change that mindset and say, what do the audience want? Like, people don't care about you on social media. They care about themselves. They're there to get their own entertainment, their own education. So how can you stand out, put yourself in that position where they want to watch your content? Because just for example, like a lot of agents or in any business in hooks, like something as simple as if I were to start a video on Instagram saying, oh, I'm Keven Raices, I'm with Real Broker, like,
you're done.
People would skip that. Like, they don't care.
Lino's like, I do it.
Yeah, again, next. But
yeah, you're right.
But if you're just like, hey, are you a first-time home buyer and you're struggling with improving your credit score, and that's what's preventing you from buying a house?
Like,
now people are like,
I am. That is me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
No, and it's funny because Keven and I were talking about this at lunch, and he said, you know what? And he hit it on the nail. People don't care what you do. They want to know what your message is.
Exactly.
Right. And like Lino said, hey, you know what? When you resonate with that, oh man, that's a first time buyer. Yeah, I'm struggling with my credit. Let me see what Keven has to say. Maybe I could pick something up. How important is for agents that are getting themselves into social media to understand that messaging? Because you did a lot of cold calling, and cold calling is, hi Lino, this is JC with XYZ title company. Are you interested in buying or selling, or do you know something? And it's this repetitive message over and over. At one point, because you said you were converting those calls, you had to figure out a different speech, right? You had to figure out a different hook on the phone to get them interested. Like, yeah, you know what? I am thinking of selling. So that message, how important is for you as a professional to understand that message that the consumer needs to resonate with?
So it's funny. Before I got my license, typically you have to wait like a month or a few weeks for it to come in, right?
Correct.
So I was doing cold calls, setting appointments for other people for like a month, right? So during that month, it was like preparation for myself, right? Which now I look back at it and I kind of like that I went through that phase,
right?
But I started noticing like, okay, these people were hanging up on me within the first 5 seconds of the conversation, and I was only getting through like, hey, my name's Lino and then boom. All right. So I was like, okay, let me switch it. Like, these people don't know who I am. They're never going to talk to me ever again.
Yep.
I mean, hopefully they would, right?
Right.
But, I mean, let's figure it out. So then I would tweak my speech. And then I would start with, hey, I have an open house here in the neighborhood. And then they listen, be like, oh, we're not interested. Hang up. Okay. So I was like, hey, I just sold so-and-so down the block for this much. Are you interested? And they were like, for how much again? And then, okay, people are looking at the price points, or people are interested in this. So I think it's just trials and tribulations, just posting or tweaking your message on cold calls, whatever you're doing, just for when you get engagement, like tag on that.
Yeah.
Like keep it going on whatever you get engagement in.
Right.
Because, I mean, you want their attention, but you also want to provide value.
Correct.
And if you're not providing value, I think Keven was telling me, like, within the first 2 seconds of the video, if you don't provide something of value, it's next.
Yeah.
Just like he was mentioning with the calls, like those first 5 seconds, if
Yeah.
you're not saying something of value, they hang up. Same for social media.
Right.
Those first 3 seconds, if you're not providing value, they're just going to swipe and you're not going to get the traction you're looking for in social media.
Right. And let's be honest. I mean, here in the Las Vegas Valley, right, the Las Vegas Association of Realtors last time put out the report. There's 19,000 real estate agents out there.
Yeah.
Out of those 19,000, maybe 3,000 are the ones that are actively working and everything.
Yeah.
How do you separate yourself in social media? Because, everybody, and I always tell you this, and again, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but you know who you are. Any monkey could go on the video and say, hey, look at this big, beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and everything is like repetitive.
Yeah.
How do you make that difference, right? How do you come up with that message of saying, look, these people don't want to hear me telling them about the house. No, they need to hear something else. At what point did you figure out and said, hey, I got to pivot myself also in social media, like Lino did on the conversation on the phone, and to try to keep them engaged? When did you realize, oh, this is the path that I need to take?
So with social media, just like anything in life, it's about consistency. You have to keep posting, even if you don't fall in love with the vanity metrics where I'm not getting views, I'm not getting likes, I'm not getting comments. Like, you have to keep posting every day, because that's what helped my building blocks, because I started off with just educational content. So people,
Right.
I'm just sitting down sitting down, just making, like, hey, are you a first-time home buyer?
Right.
Then when I first had that video go viral, they go back. They're like, oh, this video is interested. Let me see. Let me follow this guy. Let me see what he's posting. And then those are building blocks. So agents or anybody, they can't just post one video and like, hopefully this goes, oh, it didn't go viral? It's not working. Like, I don't want to do this. Like,
To kind of piggyback, sorry to
Please,
cut
no,
you
go
off.
ahead.
Yeah.
When I had met Keven, because of that, there was another agent in our office. We started doing YouTube together, right? So we both started at the same time. We would post the same home tours. So the same content, different channels, right?
Okay.
And okay, so we both did it for around 6 months. I stopped at the 6th month. He kept going for the year. When we look back now, I ended up at I think I'm at 368, 370 subscribers. Lino Jr. Just search me up on YouTube.
Yeah, that's good.
But he kept going for the extra 6 months, and he hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. And it was the same content. He wasn't doing anything different. He just kept consistently posting 3 times a week. 3 times a week, I would post once, maybe skip 2 weeks, not. And that was like the main difference of what set his channel and his business apart then with mine.
Of course.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, JC, how do you set yourself apart? Because they're going to the same homes, recording the same homes. It's the same content, but our personalities are all different. Like,
Exactly.
I can't do the same thing, Lino. Like, we can go to the same house. We've done it before, but
Right.
it's different. When I do my voiceovers, he does his in-person intro. It's just, we're 2 different personalities, and we're not going to click with every single. There's a market of so many buyers, and some of them will vibe with my personality, some will vibe with Lino's personality. So it's just about putting yourself out there and finding your people.
Yes. So how do you guys, and you guys are a younger generation, you guys understand social media. I mean, you guys all I could say you guys grew up with, social media and seeing a lot of other videos, and, you could differentiate from the personalities of social media to really somebody that's being genuine, right? So you guys figure that out. To the older generation like myself that didn't grow up in that are in social media, you know, we want to make sure that we provide, like you said, educational packages, right? We provide people that are interested of maybe finding out a little bit more about our city, you know, what you know, what's fun to do in Vegas and stuff like that, or, you know, what are the economic benefits of moving to Vegas and stuff like that. But for you guys, just being comfortable in front of the camera says a lot over a lot of agents because, and I think that you nailed it on the head, Keven, the vanity of getting over that. Oh my God, I didn't get any likes. Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't get anybody to comment and everything. Yeah. Like, don't get hung up on that, right? No, they just keep on going, right?
Yeah, no, most definitely. Because I sometimes feel a little cringe looking at my old videos too, because I was like, oh, like they had like 100 views, 5 likes, and no comments, but I just kept posting. I don't know, something told me like this is what I want to commit to, because I never developed that skill set that Lino did with cold calling. Because when I got into the industry, I did it with no mentorship, no team. I just was stubborn. I was like, I'm gonna do this on my own.
Good for you.
Everything on my own. So I knew social media was big because everyone's on their phone, everyone is scrolling.
Yes.
When you get off here, you're probably gonna go on Instagram, YouTube, just like doom scroll and then go drive. You know, so everyone is there.
Exactly.
So
yes,
you want to put yourself in the spotlight.
Right. And then also, you know, a lot of people that are getting or want to get into social media understand that, you know, you have to be genuine. Yeah. You know, and I keep on going back to that genuine. You have to get the vanity aspect out of it and everything, but also you can't be a gimmick. Because a gimmick only goes so far, right? You could do a really funny video once and then you could never duplicate it. We've seen it a lot with very, very top, very good, you know, influencers that they have that one video that just killed it and then all of a sudden they try to do it again, but it's just being genuine of really caring of what the product is out there. And Lino, that you are getting into this, you know, more consistently and in your YouTube channel, you know, how do you find the content that you think that people want to hear? Because it, you know, when I started my radio show many, many years ago, and then I got back into the podcast, everybody like, real estate, man, you're going to talk 1 hour and you're done. But real estate changes from day to day, right? There's so much information out there that you could go ahead and utilize and make a story about, or just something. Right now, everybody's all hung up with the interest rates and everything. And, you know, you came in and like, I could care less what the interest rate was last month because I have the interest rate now and I got to work with it. How do you decide how to put out those videos, what kind of content to create, so like that your audience stays engaged with you, and then we'll talk about how your production has been turned out because of that.
So I think the biggest thing is obviously you what I've learned is you have to be careful what you post out there, because it ultimately portrays the type of person you are.
Yes.
But it also brings that type of business to you, right? So how you were saying, if you post a funny video, do you want to be known as that person,
that funny agent
who did that one funny video and is cringy,
and they're trying to milk that one?
And you're just trying to just live off of that one video,
right?
Which happens a lot.
It does.
And then you're just never taken serious. Or do you want to be known as like, which a lot of people try and be like this luxury agent with this lifestyle, like whatever it may be, right? So you just have to kind of be careful with what type of message you try to portray,
right?
But I think it ultimately comes back to just being yourself, obviously, and trying not to really concentrate on real estate so much to where that's the only thing you're posting. Because I'm pretty sure if you follow me, I do it sometimes. I forget, right? Obviously,
right.
But if I just post like interest rate this, look at this house, interest rate, look at this deal, like people are gonna get bored of my page because it's just repetitive, right? But someone followed me because they resonated with my personality or my life. So whether it's like my new puppy that they resonate with because they like dogs, or hey, I got a new car and they're a car guy, right? That's funny enough how I had figured out that he was your son, right? I followed him because of his car page and the content, so that's why I followed him. I was like, oh, he does real estate too? Oh, cool, right? So it's about, hey, Keven posted this about, I don't know, about basketball.
Right.
He liked basketball. Let me go see what he posts. Oh no way, he does real estate in
As well.
Vegas. That's where I'm at too. So let me see what he's about. You know.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good point that you're bringing, Lino, because again, right, we're all professional by interest rate, real estate. The sky is falling. Oh my God, the market, blah blah, the bubble.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the people nowadays, they're interested in that, but they want to know you.
Yeah.
They want to know what your interests, right? And I took a class from social media from somebody that's very, very popular in social media and said, look, you got to do 50% business, 25% personal life, and then the other 25 lifestyle. Because people like to know where you party. They like to know how you have fun, right? And for the longest time, for our generation, like, no, you always got to be serious. You got to be in this box, and you have to be dressed professional all the time, and you have to behave this way and everything. And like, no, you don't. You really don't, because what you're looking for, and I think that Keven could probably explain this a little bit more in detail, is you're using social media to connect with people, not to sell a product.
Correct.
Talk to me about how you figured that out and saying, you know what, I'm connecting with the people that want to connect with me, and hopefully I could sell them a home or guide them to buy a house. Because I always tell everybody, you guys are not real estate agents. You guys are real estate consultants. You are consulting people to how to buy real estate in this market, right? Because as a salesperson, you're a car salesperson. That's a car salesperson. Yeah. But you guys don't sell homes. You guys consult people based on what their needs are to find them the closest house to fit their needs. Mm-hmm. How do you make sure that you have that personality, or you show that side of you for people to say, you know what? Yeah, I like Keven, man. You know what? Yeah, he likes basketball, dude. I could talk basketball with Keven while we're looking at homes, right? Yeah. And that's the most important thing, I believe, in social media, right?
No, 100%. Mm-hmm. With social media, I think you have that advantage versus cold calling, and I think Lino can attest to this. Is where they see you, they hear you, then when you call them, they're like, oh, hey, Keven, it's you. Like, they see your video.
We talked about it.
Yes, we did talk about it on Monday.
When I posted one like a couple videos, and one of them finally went like viral, had like over 100,000 shares, views, etc. I was like, Keven, I called these people that reached out to me, and they were happy to hear my voice.
Yes.
Like, they were like, oh, Lino, what's up, man? You're from Instagram, right? In comparison to cold call, they were like, don't ever call my number again. Boom. Hung up, right? Yeah. So it was like a pleasant surprise. I was like, okay, this is definitely the route I want to take, where it's a little bit more personable. Yeah. And it's more enjoyable as a business, and I can connect with people 100% better.
And they see your personality through videos, so that's how they connect with you. Because I just remember here, Equity Title, signing with the seller, and then he's like, oh, I saw your Instagram. You went to WrestleMania. I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I went to WrestleMania. I was like, you're a wrestling fan? He's like, I grew up watching wrestling.
Yes.
We spent like 30 minutes outside of the title company just talking about wrestling, just reminiscing. Like, do you remember when The Rock, when Stone Cold Steve Austin with the beers and everything and all that stuff?
Right.
So connecting through social media, but then you let your personality out. You see, like, he would have not know that if I cold call, because he saw it on my Instagram.
Right.
So we came here to sign, and he's like, oh, I saw you went to WrestleMania. But if it was just a cold call, he would have never known.
Agree. So I really do believe that being smart on your social media has a lot to do with it, right? And you said it, Lino. You want to be known as the professional person, but also want to know that show people that you have a personal. You're not a robot.
We're all human, right?
Right.
So just to give you an example, I'm pretty straightforward with clients, everyone, right? Everyone that I come in contact with. So like when we were introduced to you, right?
Yes.
I was like, okay, it's just like another title company, just. Right,
thanks, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding, bro. No, yeah.
So it's just like another title company, right?
Correct.
And then during our lunch, then that's when I figured out that you used to coach around the same time that I played. So we had some type of connection in there that we kind of knew each other in some way. And I was like, okay, like this guy's pretty cool. And then after that, like obviously connecting him more on a personal level, not just the business.
Right.
Then it was like, oh, I know his son off of social media.
Right.
We now are interconnected with this other space too. Now we have more things in common. Okay, this guy's actually like pretty cool. Like, okay, this is different than what I thought.
Right.
Because if we keep it very, very formal in business, I'm just like every other agent.
Yes.
Every other agent can help you buy or sell. Well, okay, to a certain extent. Some are not that good, right? To a certain extent, right? But then it's like, okay, how do you connect? How do you connect with Lino?
Yes.
How do you connect with Keven? Because I'm pretty sure someone would much rather work with Keven compared to me, and vice versa, just because of how they vibe.
Yes.
Or the things we have in common, right?
No, definitely. And you know what? And you're right. You know, me as the marketing rep for a title company, I meet agents all the time, and you're 100% right, Lino. Everybody's like, another marketing rep from another title company. What are they going to show me that I haven't heard before, I haven't seen before, and everything? And my approach has been like, look, I want to help you grow your business. But before that, we have to find something that it's in common, right? And what got us into talking about, like you said, right? Hey, I coach soccer. You're like, hey, I play soccer around the time. And then I'm like, hey, maybe you know this person. Yeah, I know this, you know. And it started really developing of like, oh, there's something bigger than just that. And for you guys in social media, I think that is the key, right? Connecting with the audience. You and I were having the conversation on Monday that you said, you know what? When people reach me out or DM me through social media, they want to talk to me.
Exactly.
Not like when Lino was calling, they're like, nope, sorry, clonk.
No,
right?
Lino with real no.
Yeah, this is Lino. I'm a real estate.
Yeah.
You're done, right? But this is different because when you guys get approached, they want to talk to you because there was something about you that they liked.
Yeah.
And that is I think that is what's shifting the market right now. Mm-hmm. I remember, and again, I'm gonna age myself. I'm 50 years old, guys. When I was a real estate agent, there was only literally 4 major brands out there. Mm-hmm. Century 21. Everybody wore their mustard yellow ugly jacket. You guys remember that?
That was on the Family Guy episode.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Remax, which I was a Remax agent. Above the cloud, we all had the little, balloon, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Prudential Americana, and then there was another real estate company that was out there, right? But those are the major brands. Mm-hmm. People wanted to work with somebody with a name brand.
Name brand, yeah.
But the market has shifted where they could care less what the brand is. They want to know what your brand is.
Yeah, no,
right?
and that's how it is with clients. Now they don't even know what company I'm. They're just Keven Ray's real estate.
That's
They're
right.
Real estate agent.
That's right.
Like they don't know what company. They never ask either.
No,
Just
they
like
don't.
Keven. And I've been in these 4 years. I think I've been in 3 brokerages. Mm-hmm. Then they don't even ask. Like
when you shift brokers, they don't like. Why did you leave the?
Yeah,
they could care less because they're dealing with you guys.
Yeah, with you, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I through cold calling.
Yeah.
Funny enough, when I would say my brokerage, they're like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yes.
Well, I have someone and some of the older generation, which they have someone at Remax, or like those bigger names, right? From a couple years ago, right? Mm-hmm. And that's who they have their trust on because of the name. But I think obviously since we're getting a little bit more into the social media era, people just want to deal with the person.
Yes.
And that's all they really care about, right?
Yeah.
100%. And like you said, you know what? You posted a video about your new puppy. The number one animal mostly searched in social media are dogs. Mm-hmm. There's so many dog people there. So you just connected with a whole bunch of new people that probably they could care less you were doing real estate, but now he has a dog. Let's start following the dog, right?
I'll start posting my dog a little more. So
that's a big community.
It is a big community.
I did. So it was on my story.
Uh-huh.
So I just shared one of the reels that I had posted.
Okay.
And it was like 3 likes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next slide, I posted my puppy, and then I posted my YouTube link on the top of the picture with my puppy. And then I was like, he has nothing to do with it, but this is my new dog. Go follow my YouTube channel, right? Yeah. And it was like a very aesthetic picture of my Italian Greyhound puppy.
Uh-huh.
So then it got like 50 likes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So if you just compare those two, it's like, okay, people are trying to resonate with me in a different way. And if I can earn their business or their trust because of what I like or how I act, it's the best thing,
Dude, you just sealed the deal right now, because at the end of the day, it's about trust.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, let's think about this, guys. I mean, and I'll ask you guys a little bit in a little bit about how your production is so far. But these people that are watching you in social media, they're connecting with Keven because, yo, he went to WrestleMania. I like WrestleMania. I mean, I grew up watching, WrestleMania, but back in the day, right? We're I'm not so much into it right now with the new characters, but there's something that connects us, right? Oh my God, he has a brand new puppy. I have the same puppy. Oh, I want to ask him about his puppy, right? That trust factor is huge because let's think about this. These people are spending $500,000 to finding their dream home.
Yeah. It's the largest
purchase
that they're going to make.
Purchase.
Yeah.
How are they just going to connect with somebody like, oh, here's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom? No, it's like they want to trust you. They want to believe in you that you're going to be the best person to spend their money. Because really, that's what you guys are doing. You're spending their money to find in the home. How important or how valuable is for you guys to really have your audience understand that you guys do care about what they're doing with their money to help them sell or buy their homes? Keven?
So, just with me, for example, because I don't consider myself a transactional agent. I'm not all about volume. I do generally get involved with the clients. When they reach out to me on social media, I'm the one who they're texting. It's not a AI or it's not an assistant, a virtual assistant.
Good for you.
They're actually talking to me.
Good for you.
So when we meet in person, it's like I had an agent tell me, I was like, I was working with another agent who's big on social media too, but when they scheduled the showing, someone else came.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm surprised when you schedule showing, it's actually you. So I do build that connection with them, and they see it because I really do care for my clients. When I meet with them, what is it that you need? Okay, you need this house, you need a bigger backyard because you have a dog, you have kids, you have a growing family. So I care for them.
Nice. Lino?
Yeah, so I had the same situation as well too. When I had known the family from high school.
Yeah.
And they had purchased a home before then, but then they wanted to sell.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those things where I know them, but I don't really know them.
Yes.
Because just I've seen them so much, and I've maybe interacted a little bit, but they reached out to me trying to sell and then purchase a bigger home for their growing family. And they told me about their experience about we had reached out to, let's just say, Keven, because we resonated with him and everything, but then they switched this over to someone else who was now doing the entire process. And we just felt disconnected with the other agent because the other agent was just more transactional, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's this, and then this is how you do it, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, it's just trying to kind of make some form of personal connection, about what they actually need more than just the home. What's the why behind the actual item that you're trying to do, right?
Yes.
Because obviously someone needs a bigger home, right? But why do you need a bigger home?
Right.
Or if you need a bedroom downstairs,
Why?
Did you know that they have someone that's handicapped in the family? That's why it's like a straight no-go if it has no bedroom in the downstairs area, right?
Yeah.
So other than social media and connecting with people like that, and I think that both of you can agree with this, the connection personally and asking those very in-depth questions on why is it that you're looking for this particular home, right? Why is it that you're looking for this particular neighborhood?
Yeah.
Why is it that you're looking for, XYZ? It's so important. And I think that both of you have hit the nail on the head when you said, you know what, we attract people through our social media, and then all of a sudden somebody else shows up and they're like, no, I want to deal with Keven because Keven is cool, man.
Yeah.
Keven is the cool guy. Lino is the cool guy. I want to talk to Lino about, XYZ. I want to talk to Keven about, this and that. And I think that a lot of teams, a lot of agents misunderstand that at the end of the day, it's 100% service from you guys from the beginning to the end. And we talked about this when we were in the front. People think they know you because they follow you, they see you so much in social media that they're like, when they introduce themselves, it's not a warm lead. It's like, hey, what's up, Keven? And you're like,
I'll
hey.
never forget when I met some clients from that. They're from Guam.
Okay.
Came in. I never met his wife, but we walked in like, hey, and I was like, you didn't introduce me. Like, I'm Keven. You know who you are. This is your wife. He's like, oh, we see you on social media every day. We just thought we knew you. Like, we're just like, it's like, hey, buddy, like, let's go into the office. It's like, no, I haven't even introduced myself.
Right. But that's huge because already, right, your personality already resonate with them. They already trust you. They're like, you know what? This guy is my buddy. This guy is in my corner, man. He's going to get my back regardless.
Yeah.
How important is, again, like I said, to be truthful, right? And let's be honest, this business is really tough.
Yeah, and it's a big moment. Like you mentioned, they're buying that house, and like Lino hit, it's what's the why? Like, I need that bedroom downstairs. My grandma is ill. I need her to move in with me, and it's a big moment too. It's like, that's why when we close, it's a big milestone. I'm checking in, like, hey, our offer was accepted. These are the terms. I'm checking in, calling with them. And my favorite part is when we close and give the keys, I make a big celebration. I do the red carpet, the balloons, the poppers, because it's a big milestone. Because I've had a client who, they're like older, she's like 70.
Yeah.
Because I bought so many houses, I've never been treated like this from a home purchase. It's always like, we've closed, go get the keys at the title company, or go get the keys from right here.
Right.
Like, I've never like thought about it as a celebratory moment. Like,
yes.
I was like, no, it's a celebratory moment. It's a big milestone, purchasing your home. Like,
and it could be the first home, or it could be the 20th home. It's still a big milestone,
I think
right?
That's the biggest difference, is that when we kind of go throughout the process, it's a full experience.
It is a full experience.
So it's like, pretend like it's not just transactional. We're trying to make it like a memorable experience.
It has to
from the beginning to when we meet to the end. And even once you get keys, it doesn't really stop there. We still keep connecting. Like with one of my clients, we connected on football, right? So I had someone offer me some tickets at like a very, very cheap price. And I was like, hey, I actually have my client that recently just closed, like, hey, let me try and see if he would want them, right? And at that point, they were being resale because the season hadn't started, so we didn't know how bad the Raiders were gonna be, right?
Hey, hold on. No, you're good.
I still got love for the Raiders.
Of course,
always support. But they were being resold for high prices. I got offered at a very affordable price. So I was like, hey man, do you want these? He was like, oh, no way. Like, yeah, I'll take them. And then from there, he just kept the connection going. And then we still talk. He still sends me either family members or other people from there, right? Just because I'm not just trying to treat someone like, hey, Keven, here's your keys. Thank you. I'm just in for
the check, the commission.
And I'm out. Yeah. No, like, it's an experience.
Right.
Like, for as long as I could tell, right? Like, I'm gonna be there for different events.
Of course.
People invite me over to their kids' birthday parties, family events, and I still go, right? Because obviously I'm trying to just keep the connection going, and we're more than just real estate and a buyer.
And I think that's really important, guys, because, at the end of the day, again, to me, you guys are not just real estate agents. You guys are real estate consultants, and you guys want to become that family real estate consultant, right? If you have a primo that wants to buy, hey, call Keven, call Lino. You know what? They're gonna have your back. And sometimes the best conversations, like, look, we're not ready right now. You know what? Let's go. Let's wait 6 months. Get your finances in check, so you're gonna benefit from a better interest rate of just like, hey, we'll make it happen. You deal with the payment letters. Like, no, you guys are really looking for their best benefit. Yeah. One of the things that I started as a marketing rep was in the title companies that I worked for in the past is I started working on the closing experience. Yeah. And, I got this idea because I said, you know what? 90% of the people show up to the title company. They get into this little room with a total stranger that they don't know, right? They've been dealing with Keven and Lino all the time. They see social media, and everybody like, oh yeah, I like Lino. And then all of a sudden, the closing, the most important thing is like in a cold room, closed doors with a totally stranger.
Yeah, some random notary.
Some random person, right? A stack of paper this big, and like, give me your driver's license, and here, boom. I mean, it's so robotic, right? That I'm like, you know what? No, this needs to change. Yeah. So I usually tell my escrow, I'm like, look, when we have clients like Keven or Lino, call me. I'm going to come in. I'm like, hey guys, congratulations. Great job doing this. You know what? Hey, you mind if I do a short little video? And, I have families that were like, look, you know what? No, man, we're keeping this hush hush. Nobody knows we're buying. I'm like, no, you're great. No, not a problem. But 80-90% of the people, like, I've never been celebrated at the closing, right? Because it's such a big moment. I mean, like, you're literally, when you're signing the deed, you're signing for your house, right? And then you guys take over, and then you guys go to the celebration when the key. Yeah. If we combine all of that, I think that the
client experience,
the client experience is kind of quadruple, because they're kind of like, man, I got treated at the title company like this, and then Keven and Lino did this for me at the end. Yeah. Man, I remember when I closed.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important because it just helps show that you guys really do care for their benefit, right?
Yeah, and I got a shout out to Tamara because she's the one who really helped out with that. I don't know if you saw the mess at the.
I did. I heard about it.
She bought the poppers at the signing.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Yes, I heard from a receptionist. She was like, I got so scared.
Everyone got scared. She just had it hiding. Just as soon as they were done, just pop.
She just popped it. Dude.
She understood that like right away, like the client experience, because she's the one who instilled that in me. Like, hey, you don't want to be that agent who just here's the key, and it feels transactional. Like, hey, I just closed, I sold, bye. Like, I got paid.
Listen, let me tell you guys something. I know real estate agents that have been in the industry for years. I know brokers that have been in the industry for years, and there are things like, my agents don't show up to the signings because they need to be others. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Transactional.
They're transactional,
Right? How hard that is, right? Like, no, they don't have no time to be doing. I'm like, that's like the best time to be there because they're close. I mean, that transaction or that period of the transaction of, man, we're signing for our loan docs. We're really getting this close, and then you seal it with the handing over the keys. It's memorable.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to kind of how I shifted my business. Is because when I was doing cold calling, I was like, there has to be more than just sitting in an office making calls for 10 hours a day and getting hung up on, right?
Yep.
So then when I discovered social media, I was like, okay, this is what it's about. It's about building connections with someone and then meeting them.
Yeah.
And then I started realizing, okay, making an experience, we're going to close. Okay, this is kind of what it's about, right? It's about making the experience once we close and the whole transaction. So that's what I kind of figured out as business went on, that it's about building connections on a personal level,
right?
And the whole client experience, not just a transactional kind of idea, right? But there is still some people who don't really expect something, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
Right.
They're like, oh, I didn't expect all of this celebration. But like, what do you mean? You just bought your first home,
Right.
Or your first home from generations, or you're the first home buyer, whatever it may be. Like, this is huge. Like, of course, we're gonna celebrate, right?
That's how I had a client right now. Just moved from Dallas, Texas. Their why was they have one daughter, and she lives here in Vegas.
Okay.
So they relocate. They've been living in Texas for 50 years. They said it was hard to leave because all of their family's in Texas.
Yeah.
But they're like, our only daughter is there, so we're going to relocate to Vegas. And when we did the closing, they were so shocked. They're like, we've never been celebrated like this. They were even like, so do you guys take the gifts? It's like, no, this is yours.
This is yours.
Like, the balloons is yours. Like,
They're not props.
It's just for the video. I'm gonna take it back.
They thought that it was like, oh, I thought like they were so happy, and they were old. He was an older gentleman.
Yeah. He's
never sent me a text message. It's always been calls, email, and he sent me a text like, hey, Keven, I'm so grateful for what you did. It caught me by surprise. Like, I've never been celebrated like that.
And listen, guys, I tell you this, to me is very big on that. You know, everybody talks about customer service.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I call BS. Customer service should be something that should be expected. Right. And nowadays a lot of places lack of customer service. Right. COVID did a really horrible job on,
100%.
Right. Customer service. To me, my mentality is, especially in the real estate, field, it should be a customer experience.
Yeah. That's what I always tell when I'm working with title, with my lender, like the client experience, like, oh, I don't want this slip up because then the client experience is bad. And that's why I get upset too, like at myself, if even the client doesn't make it a big deal. Like, I'm working with the seller, it's been tough for this specific home. We'd had to do a price reduction because the way the market is. And I told them, like, guys, I'm really sorry because I wanted you guys to net this amount, and I'm disappointed in myself. And they're like, no, Keven, it's okay. You've been great. We've been, happy working with you because you're an honest person.
Yes.
Like, if you were lying, then like it would be a whole different story.
You would have been fired.
But you're like being honest.
Yes.
So that's the thing with me. Like, always being honest, genuine, and actually caring for the clients.
And I think that's really important.
There's a lot of agents who are transactional, right? Like you mentioned, like, don't go to the signing.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna go record? Like, make your calls, hit your numbers. Like, don't worry. Even like the team, right? Where they're like, don't learn how to do transaction coordinator stuff. Like, don't learn how to do contracts. You got to call. Like, don't worry about that.
Yes.
But I feel, in my opinion, my perspective, you have to learn everything about this business.
100%.
You have to learn contracts. You can't, because the client's going to call you because you're the face as a real estate agent, not the transaction coordinator. when something goes wrong, they're not going to call the lender. They're going to call you, because as the agent, you're the face of the transaction.
Agreed.
Even like the title company, they're not going to call the title company. They're going to call you as the agent.
Right. Yes. No, definitely. And I think that, with that being said, let's talk now about your productions. Let's talk about your numbers, right? You guys are sitting here because you guys are the agents that are closing deals right now. Well, I know for a fact, and again, you guys know who you are. There's agents out there that haven't closed a deal in 7 months. I mean, here we are, October, 10 months in the road, and they're like, oh my God, I just closed one deal. You guys are closing deals in a consistent basis. Yes, the market has shifted. The market has changed. And that's something that we have no control over, right?
No.
You said it at the beginning of the show. April 2022 was like, the brakes stop, and you're like, holy crap, what do we do? But you had to pivot.
Yeah.
And yet you're still sitting here closing deals. How do you feel, or what do you think that your buyers that you're representing right now is the benefit of them deciding, I want to buy in this market with the way the interest rate is, with the way that the inventory is, because that's a big factor. And I believe that you guys, because Erica and I, my escrow officer, and I talk about the closings, and she's like, man, Keven just got this really great freaking deal, man. She got them X amount of dollars in. They're coming in with very little money down and everything. How do you feel like the market right now is? If you had a buyer that's like, I don't know, should I buy? What would you tell them right now, Keven? And then we'll go to Lino.
Yeah. So, like Lino hit earlier, it's always the why. Why are you going to buy? Because not a lot of people just have so much money. Like, I'm going to buy this house right now. Like, here's $500,000. Like,
right.
There's a reason for everything. Why are people buying?
Correct.
And you have to learn what their objections are. Like, house prices, they've been going up the last 30, 40 years. So you can't say it's because the prices are too high. I'm going to wait for it. Like, we have to have something crazy happen, like 2008.
Yes.
So
agree.
And if it's the interest rate, like, we have to have something crazy happen, something catastrophic, like the pandemic. We're not going to see 3% rate. So it's about coaching the buyer. Like, 5%, 6%. 5% is a healthy rate. Like 3%, like we have to have another pandemic. that was, yep. So if it's the interest rate, if that's what's their concern, like, when our interest, like, I had someone message me, when our interest rate's going to be in the 5s, like, they're there still. If you're looking for new builds, they're offering incentives. You can get the interest rate. They're there. It's just understanding the client, what's their objections. It's the interest rate. If it's the interest rate, it's more likely the monthly payment. Like, I saw interest rates are 6.5 and my payment would be this much. I was like, but did you know right now in the market, there's a lot more inventory. We have a lot more options. If you were looking at resale options, what sellers are doing to compete with other sellers with new builds, they're offering incentives themselves as well. They're offering seller concessions to say, hey, if we got this amount, we can buy your interest rate to this amount. And your monthly payment, we'd hit your monthly payment goal. And then they're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go look at this house I've been saving on Zillow. Like, I want to go see it, So it's just about understanding what's their main objection. Is it the monthly payment? Is it the credit score? Is it the down payment? And having the resources to, here's my lender, they can help with the credit. Here's my lender, she can help with down payment assistance program. Or it's interest rate, let's game plan, what interest rate you would need to obtain to get the monthly payment that you feel comfortable in buying.
Lino?
So I think, honestly, anytime that the idea of buying or selling comes to mind, that's the time when you should do it. Why? Because there's that little voice telling you to buy or sell because you have something going on in your life, or you feel prepared, but you just might be scared because you don't know what to expect. And then that's when I come in, right? Obviously. But I can assure you, if you have some rebuttal against why you shouldn't buy, I'll give you a solution. And then we'll really find out what you're actually against, whether it's like a certain payment or just whatever idea you have going on or whatever notion. I'm gonna give you a solution so you actually figure out, like, okay, it wasn't really that. This was my problem. We're gonna work around it,
So let me throw this one out to you guys. It's a curveball, and I know you guys are both gonna have an answer about it. But mi compadre me dijo that is not the best time to buy right now. And that compadre hasn't sold or buy a home in like 20 years. But they're getting information from the family member that you're like, oh no, the market is gonna crash. Oh my God, I've been watching the news and everything. And I always tell people, I said, that is the worst news or the worst person you could get advice from. Call the professionals.
Yeah.
The other question is, do you guys charge for a consultation?
So consultations are free, right?
Yeah,
So
the consultations are free.
there's no reason to get any.
Right.
We don't get any type of monetary value from the buyer for whatever reason, right?
Right.
So it's free. Like we're not asking you to sign anything up front unless you agree to kind of work. Obviously, legally we have to get.
But you guys are not like attorneys that, you know, in order for me to answer your questions about this case that you brought up to me, we have to sign a retainer and you have to give me X amount of, I mean, no, right? No. The consultations are free. So the people that are listening right now, that are watching the show, is like, if you have any questions, why won't you just call them or at least follow them in social media? Maybe they'll give you a story or say, do a reel about something that I had a question about. Like, oh, they just answer me the question, right? Because you guys are always posting all the time about it. So, you know, it's really important for people to understand that the professionals are out there. You just need to go and reach them. You know, it's not those same old days that it was when it was my time that, you know what, we used to meet the buyers and the buyers. We used to meet them in our office. They used to, we literally, I mean, if you think about it, we used to kidnap them because we used to throw them in the back of our car, you know, and they will sit in the back of our car and we will take them and show them around the properties with the yellow book, you know, and the Thomas guide. We didn't have no GPS, man. We had the Thomas guide and everything. But, you know, now it's like the information is so in your fingertips. Why not communicate? Why not ask the question? I always say, and I've learned this in the radio, there's not dumb questions. No. They're just dummies that don't ask any questions. Yeah. Exactly. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Yeah. If you have a question, you should ask it. As dumb as you think that the question is, you deserve an answer. Yeah. And maybe that answer is going to trigger you and say, oh, I should buy right now. I have the potential to buy right now. You know, stop paying rent.
It's all about just having a conversation, whether it's on the phone or if we meet in person. I love to meet new clients in person. But you kind of just figure out like the true problem or the true kind of thing that's going on that's holding the whole process back. You could think, sometimes you may be right. You might think that you qualify for this amount, this payment, and that's what you want. And okay, you hit the nail on the head. But then sometimes you can actually qualify for more and it's actually still at the payment that you want because we got seller credit or we did other things on the back end. Like there's a lot of things that we as agents do on the back end, connecting with like a lender or even talking with the seller and kind of negotiating that we can make the situation work out for like the things that you want. You just have to really just be open about it and tell us what you need and whether it's going from A to B or going from A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We just take all these routes in order to get you to the end goal. We'll make it happen regardless.
Right.
And JC, when you were saying your compadre, like, hey, my compadre said the market's gonna crash. Like, a lot of people, they just feel more comfortable speaking with their family, and that's the elderly, right? So like, hey, I trust this elderly person. They've seen the world, like they're wise. Like,
exactly.
You know, so like, and even in social media, like negativity just. It thrives.
Oh yeah.
People love negativity. Like, this is why Devin Booker is not a good basketball player.
Hey, don't talk about Devin Booker.
But then you get like millions of views. People are like, yeah, Devin Booker can't dribble a ball. Then just people are just arguing. So people thrive. So when people are posting videos like, don't buy it now. The Las Vegas real estate market is crashing. And then everyone's like, yes, I knew it. I had a feeling. It's the back of my head. And this video just like
but what I think is like, why don't people get happy like when they're like, oh, like the market's gonna crash? I knew it. Yes. Yeah. Why don't you get happy when it's like, oh, I actually made it work out for you? You can actually buy. They're like, oh, now you're just they get
now
scared.
You're numb.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I didn't think you can make it work.
Yeah. And you know, you're right, Keven. It is so important. I mean, my social media is usually informative. I put out informative. I very rarely do videos myself putting out information because, you know, let's be honest. Title and escrow is boring. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Change the notion. Let's make it fun.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could find something out. But
doing the poppers for this.
but no, I do post about that. Believe it or not, I do post about when we do closings in our office. I promote the hell out of it because I think it's important. Yeah. Few months ago, when the interest rate, when the Fed came out and he said, hey, we're going to lower the interest rate. It was like last month in September. He came out and says, hey, we're going to lower the interest rate for a quarter of a point. Bro, I had to jump in and do a video because I was so pissed off from all the agents like, oh my God, that mortgage rate dropped. And I'm like, no.
It doesn't correlate. Yeah.
Let's be honest. And I called them out and they know who they are because they follow me and they know, they know not to mess around with me.
Yeah.
And I said, look, let's be honest. The mortgage rate didn't drop.
No.
The rate that dropped was the one that the banks borrow money. That hopefully should lower the mortgage rate.
Yeah.
Right? Because what we want to be is we want to be transparent. We want to make sure that people really understand what's happening.
False information, false hope.
There's a lot of misinformation.
I don't know if
social media.
you guys saw, I think it was from, well, I forgot what company it's from, but they I think Zillow probably did it, where they made like a new page where you can assume loans.
Oh yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, I can get into a home for
2.5%, 3%.
Yeah, but like, do you actually know how much you're gonna have to come in with to assume a certain loan to make it work?" And people were like, "Oh, well, I get the interest rate here, so
it doesn't matter."
I had so many people DM me, asking me like, "Hey, can I go along this route?" And I was like, "Whoa, like what?" I hadn't even seen the post at that point, so I went to go read, and I was like, wow, like these people are just putting out false information, false hope.
Because they want the phone to ring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now that you mentioned that, I guess title is not boring because I could do a whole video about assumable loans because you know what? 92% of the loans out there, they're not assumable.
Yeah.
They're just not. And they tell you that when you're signing the deed. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I guess you're right, Kevin. I have to change that whole thing and start educating people about title and escrow. Well, guys, you're not going to believe this, but the hour is gone.
Okay,
No
that was fast. Yeah,
that was fun, huh?
Yeah.
So, hey, again, Kevin, give me your phone number, give me your first name, last name, your social media, so people could get a hold, and then we'll go ahead with Lino. Go ahead, Kevin.
Phone number is 702-832-9364. Keven Reyes. You can find me at my handle everywhere. Keven Reyes Real Estate.
Lino.
All right, my full name's Lino Sobreros Jr. My phone number is 702-764-1628. You can find me on Instagram and YouTube at my full name, Lino Sobreros Jr.
Perfect. Hey, and I realized this. You both are juniors, right?
No,
Keven Reyes. I don't think Keven is. No, I am.
You are. You're a junior. Oh, okay. Very cool, man. Well, you know what? Again, I really appreciate you guys taking the time. I think this is very enlightening. I think the public, they're going to watch this episode later on, are going to listen to a lot of things. I hope our real estate partners that listen to this are realizing that, social media is not that hard. You just got to be, honest. You got to be educational. You got to be transparent. And the most important thing is you have to be consistent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Right? Consistency at your work. Because like Kevin said, if you show up to the gym and work out once and you expect to get fit, it's not going to work. Right, Kevin?
Where's my six-pack? No, I'm going to go get a six-pack.
Right? So, hey, my name is JC Castillo. You guys could go ahead and contact me outside of the air at 702-416-4302, 702-416-4302. And again, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, you guys please understand that you guys have the right to choose the title company. So if you guys want to go ahead and experience the closing experience here at Equity Title with your real estate agents, please let them know that you guys want to go ahead and write in Equity Title as your preferred title company. And again, it's Friday, behave. Don't party too much. If you do, don't put it on social media because it gets you in trouble. But you know what? Again, like I always tell people, please take care of each other because it's that easy. We're all professionals. We're all here to serve a purpose, which is to put more people in homes and to close more transactions. So if you guys want to go ahead and get a hold of me again, you could reach me out. If you like the show, give it a like. If you don't like, let us know as well, and we'll definitely change it. And we really appreciate your time. We will see you guys on the next show, and take care of each other. See you later.